Carol Burnett refused to work with him, a decision that quietly echoed through Hollywood and revealed the depth of her principles at a time when many performers felt pressured to accept uncomfortable situations for the sake of career advancement. Celebrated worldwide for her warmth, generosity, and groundbreaking comedic talent, Burnett built a career that was defined not only by success and longevity, but by kindness, professionalism, and an unwavering belief in respect. Behind the laughter and iconic sketches, she was deeply attentive to the emotional climate of every set she worked on, believing that comedy could only flourish in an environment rooted in trust, safety, and mutual regard. According to those familiar with the situation, her refusal had nothing to do with ego, rivalry, or creative disagreement, but stemmed from a pattern of behavior that conflicted with her values and made collaboration feel impossible. Burnett had spent years cultivating spaces where performers felt supported rather than intimidated, and she was unwilling to compromise that standard, even if it meant stepping away from a high-profile opportunity. In an era when difficult personalities were often excused as brilliant, temperamental, or simply part of the business, her decision was quietly radical. Instead of confronting the issue publicly or fueling rumors, Burnett chose discretion, declining the work without spectacle and allowing her actions to speak for themselves. This measured response protected her professionalism while firmly asserting boundaries, a balance few were able to maintain in an industry where reputations were fragile and gossip traveled fast. Colleagues later noted that Burnett believed laughter should never come at the expense of dignity, and that cruelty, manipulation, or unchecked ego had no place in creative collaboration. Her refusal reflected a deep understanding of her own worth and influence. By that stage of her career, she no longer felt obligated to endure discomfort to prove her value. Burnett understood that longevity was built not just on talent, but on the ability to protect one's spirit in a demanding industry. Her influence was such that her absence was often noticed, even when she made no public statement. The message was subtle yet powerful. Talent did not excuse harmful behavior, and success did not require silence. Younger performers who later worked with Burnett frequently describe her as protective, encouraging, and acutely aware of power dynamics, traits shaped by moments like this one. She led not through confrontation, but through example, demonstrating that professionalism included the right to say no. Over time, stories of her refusal circulated quietly within Hollywood, strengthening her reputation as someone who valued humanity as much as excellence. Far from harming her career, the decision enhanced the respect she commanded, reinforcing the idea that integrity and success are not opposing forces. Burnett's stance also challenged long-standing industry norms, particularly for women, who were often expected to tolerate difficult conditions to remain employable. By refusing to participate, she asserted agency in a system that rarely rewarded it. In retrospect, her decision appears less like an isolated incident and more like a natural extension of her entire philosophy toward work and life. She believed joy was the foundation of comedy, and that genuine joy could not exist in environments built on fear or disrespect. Carol Burnett's refusal remains a powerful reminder that true influence does not always announce itself loudly, but often resides in quiet, unwavering choices that shape culture behind the scenes. Her legacy is not only one of laughter, but of strength, boundaries, and the courage to choose self-respect over compromise.